Do we need to input the password again?
Oh no. I think we do. Do you remember the password?
I don't remember the password. Nice try.
I thought maybe.
Can we enter now?
No.
Okay, so the boys are up there in their little airship.
In their helicopter. Laughing and laughing while the world burns.
Look at how they perish down there. It's very charming.
This morning I woke up and I couldn't picture Tamra's face. The little line at the corner of her lip that pulls her whole mouth down when she smiles, the flutter in her eyelashes. I tried so hard to picture her in my mind, put her down on paper as if that might bring her back. I couldn't do it. Idris, I'm not you.
Saavedro, that's really rough, but we just had to solve a pixel hunt, so... Ah!
What?
Don't worry, we have a dirigible.
Was he just bored of doors?
I would have been satisfied if we could have just walked over there and opened the vault door.
Not so easy, is it, Atris? Running like a rat through a maze, looking for some sign that'll help you save your world. Is it over here? Is it over there? Is it someplace I can't find? Sirius and Akinar didn't care about saving Narayan. All that talk about fixing instabilities, rewriting the age so that we would be free to live our lives, that was just talk to hide the truth of why they had come. But we believed their lies, Atris. So we abandoned our traditions, forgetting that those traditions were keeping Narayan alive. And when the lattice tree started to die, I followed them here to tell them what they had done. And they laughed. They said they would never fix Narayan. They said that they had already taken everything it had worth saving. So, my dear old friend, Atris, I brought you to this place where your education begins. This what you expected, Atris? When you followed me here, hoping to reclaim Relation? Is this classroom what you expected to find? I read your journal, in Tamana. After I found your linking book abandoned outside this observatory, I read all about the Dunning, how you started their world again. Can you really do that, Atris? After everything that's happened to Narayan, could you start their world over again? I don't think so. I think there's too much blood on our hands, too many ghosts. Surely you can't change that with a pen stroke. Narayan is waiting.
Hello, dear viewers, and welcome back to Saving Often, Myst III Exile, Part 5, as David and I fumble our way toward Narayan. How are you today, pal?
I'm excellent. Saavedro's got all these schemes in place. He really wants to take Idris down for all of his missed stakes, but we're going to be there in his place, and we're going to... We're going to foil his plans by breaking all the puzzles that he already sabotaged.
I can only hope. We've been through all 3 of the training ages, so now all that we have left is Saavedro's
The real
homeworld.
Myst starts here.
The real Myst starts here, indeed. This is, if you've been following along, you know that Atris's sons, Cirrus and Akinar, have theoretically ravaged this age, did some horrible things to it, did some horrible things to Saavedro, and I guess we're going to see the extent of those damages now. Without further ado,
I don't like the looks of this.
interesting.
So these look like the different icons. Like these reflect the poems that we've collected.
Yes, they absolutely do. I recognize nature. Alright, let's go over them. We have nature and love, void and energy, intelligence and entropy, force, transform, mutual, contradict, society, chaos, change, machine, power, possibility, growth, civilization, future, cycle, convey, encourage, spur, infinite, merge, dependence, wisdom, dynamic, motion, and harmony.
The worst part of this is that if you wanted to take screenshots, it'd be a hassle.
It would be major hassle. I wonder if there's not really a vantage point where you can see all of them at once. Damn it.
Well, they look at you, those two, and when you were on the right, you were able to get a screen cap of the other side very easily. So that may make your life easier. But yeah, I think that we know that nature is part of one, and it seems like there's overlapping more than one symbol. So we may just need to find out what the other component of that first poem is.
We're so excited for puzzles that we don't even know what the puzzle here is yet.
I mean, that is just standard adventure gamer practice, is that you're going to futz with any gizmo you can find.
Well, this first poem is nature and encourage. It's the second one. Looks like a little fruit.
It's got a little fruit.
Change.
So change. And we need something that's going to kind of wrap around, touch it. Is it go back up to the and the left? Is it force? Is that the one it is? Like change force?
It looks like it, though there's a little dangle between them, yeah. But that's
a little dingle dangle.
Little dingo dongo. Yeah, I think that's good though. Force change. So we have encourage nature, force change. This looks like a little teardroppy thing coming up. Which one is that? Oh, motion. Yeah, motion.
And so it's gonna need like just like a little guy laying down with a tube coming out of his head.
Is it future?
Where is future in here?
Top left on the screen.
It might be, yeah. That looks close enough. So future motion. I'm trying to remember like which poem each of these corresponded to. I'm assuming encourage nature was the nature world. That would make the most sense to me.
Yeah, I think that was Adana. So we've got encourage nature. What was the other
Force
one?
change.
Force change. Encourage nature. Force change.
In future motion.
Future motion. All right, well, let's get our handy dandy snipping tool going here. Okay.
So it seems very clear that these are the root words that Atris used to create those worlds.
Oh, these are missing.
Hopefully don't need those.
Great.
It growls at you.
Why are the machines always broken in these games?
Give you something to do. In Myst, you play as a beleaguered maintenance worker.
Oh.
Is this a cutscene? Aha!
Rincewind.
What?
I was thinking the
You're
same
not-
thing.
Where is he? Look, I know he's here. I have his book. So where is he?
Why do you have a Flintstone hammer?
Here, come. I take relation from him, and he sends you instead. Idiot. You actually thought this would work. You thought that you could force him into coming here, fixing things? Why? Why would he rewrite Narayan? Because of your messages? Because of your paintings? Look at your world. Look at what's left of it. When are you gonna get it through your thick skull that you do not matter to him? Could be alive out there. No one. We're stuck here, you know. The linking book back to Jananan is gone. Left behind when I linked out of Atris' study. And as for getting in to Narayan, look around you. This chamber is the only way in. And Atris installed some kind of shield, and I have never been able to get past it. Not once in all these years. So you're just as stuck here as I am. At least until I open this book. And I show Atris what it's like to watch your friends and relatives die. If you do find a way out of here, I suggest that you think very carefully about using it. Because the one thing I know about linking books, the doors they open don't close behind you.
Is Saavedro really tall or are we really short?
I don't want to live in a Myst world where I'm really short.
It would be a change of pace for you.
So Saavedro's been let's see, has he been here in Narayan, or was he trapped in Jananan?
Well, I think that initially he was trapped in Jananan, but like we at least at minimum saw him during the intro. He's been doing his little break and enterings, collecting stuff. So I'm assuming he's had back and forth access to this world, but he can't do much of anything here because of the force field.
So he's been here forever and he couldn't figure it out. So who the hell are we?
We are the Myst experts. We've solved Riven. We've solved the original Myst. We got this.
So Saavedro should be thankful that we're here.
I mean, we're going to theoretically solve this in the span of an hour or two, so he should be appreciative. After we edit down the episode to, make ourselves look a little bit smarter.
Okay, so we've got a couple of levers to work with here that each have 2 states.
I think that we're wanting to try and have it flow to get to wherever the pipe is going, because like the one upstairs made it sound like we allowed something to flow, and like the game wants us to go up there to see that cutscene. So I think that one up top is in the correct state. That's different. And it goes down, too. That's innovation.
Fascinating, Captain.
Aha. So are we going to make the symbols, the poems here? So that one's just one poem in there, which might be a new product we need to create. Because the other one's 3, I'm assuming we need to input our existing poems, unless Saavedro has tampered with it. And I'm assuming the positioning of the red wire suggests where we should start. Like the poems all kind of like occupy different space on the page. Yeah, like it's going to be, they each need to be something that's going to start and end, like where the red wire is and when the gray wire is, I think.
Interesting.
Although some of these poems don't really seem like they'd neatly fit into these images, so I may be on the wrong track entirely.
Very, very interesting.
It's like, okay, let me just click and drag it. Some adventure gamers, they want just to use inventory items on things.
We can't help ourselves. I was hoping that it was going to be like abduction,
just, like, leave it there.
or you could pin it. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be nice?
That sure would. Well,
yeah, that one's very like horizontal, and it wouldn't really neatly like fit onto if we tried to actually like orient it towards us. So I don't know.
So for this one, we had said that was it force change? Or no, future motion.
Yeah, that's probably the ball rolling planet.
Because I'm wondering on this one, that nub in the middle, is that supposed to connect to one of the red wires?
I doubt it, at least in terms of like the whole like image is supposed to connect. It may not be that it matters. This could just be passwords. Like it doesn't necessarily need to be a circuit we're running from one end to the other. I would like it if we like had a better idea of which one goes where. Because I feel like that it could take a lot of effort to try and recreate this.
Yes, it could. Well, looks like it's time for some screenshots. It's time for some screenshots and our old friend, MS Paint.
MS Paint has been our stalwart companion for decades now.
For decades. Can't think of anybody else I'd rather be in a foxhole with than MS Paint. Alright, for your edification, I have posted them in our Discord chat, so you can see what I see, and I am going to make sure that the viewers at home can see this as well.
That way they can be frustrated in real time as we struggle with it.
Yes. Alright, so...
I feel like the easiest one to start with is the one with the 3 petals at the top, but what do we, okay, yeah. Beautiful.
Like that?
Yeah, that seems more reasonable.
But how do you... Oh, it's like this, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that accomplished nothing. I'm out of ideas.
Well... the real question here is, like, should it be, since this can occupy just 2 circles, would it need to be in the top 2 circles, or is it going to matter? It's like, ta-da!
Well, it does keep them on screen at least.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this part is wrong. Because it doesn't extend that far over, but...
That
don't really...
looks wrong.
Yeah, I don't really have any other options, though. What happens if I back out completely? Oh good, it leaves it there. So there's no reset button whatsoever.
So if you mess something up, you gotta manually erase every line.
I wonder if this one over here does just need to be 1, or if this will do anything different if we plug these symbols in here.
It's a good question. There's also a question of if we overlay all of the symbols on one grid, would that make a difference?
Oh, you know what? That's an idea. Yeah, because I can't click on any of these.
Ooh.
So these are just going to be represented by something else.
So maybe if we, like, if you put anything into the other side, does it transfer that to the other one?
Let's find out. All right. Let's make a big circle on the top down there. And a big circle on the bottom there. And let's do a big circle on the left here. Actually, this is what we're going to do. We're going to do it like this. We're going to make them represent where they are on this grid and see if they... I don't know why. It's just cleaner.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've made our 3 circles here. See what happens if we flip the switch. Nothing.
Nothing! I noticed that on the other one, the wires leading in are like golden ones, so maybe if the circles are connected to the gray wires on this one, that it'll keep them.
Oh, I can already tell this is going to make for a fascinating episode of Myst III.
Nothing! Once again, absolutely nothing.
I envy the viewers at home who get to experience the thrills, chills, and spills. Well, you know, last time I made this statement, I was completely wrong, but I'm going to go ahead and make it again anyway. I feel like there's something we're missing here.
I think that, yeah, we need to scout around a little bit more to see if we can get more information. We've got, you know, the poems, and we've got like a translation of what those poem symbols mean, but if we can find anything else to give us some context, we might be a bit more productive here.
I feel like we're trying to open this door to get out to a tram.
Now, it might be something like where we need to like issue a command using the language. That would probably be a little obnoxious.
Well, I didn't see open sesame on our list of verbs.
My thought process is that there was like the door frame blocking us is nature based, so it could be something where we need to use like void nature to open the door. But if it's something like that, we'd have to figure out the right permutation to actually issue that command, and that might be a step more complicated because right now, like I think the game should be conveying like how we use this equipment at all. Yeah, if we were going to do something to change like that, those vine door, it'd be something like void nature, cycle nature. There was something else on the left that like could have been a verb, like
transform,
change. Yeah. Those would be things that could possibly like alter something like that. But again, I don't even know if this equipment is meant to accept commands or not. The lore we've kind of experienced up to this point is that in order to create a linking book world, Atris had to write using these kind of poems to create a basis for the world to evolve. But So I don't know that it would translate to something as simple as opening a door. Like, this is still part of like the whole testing apparatus that Atris envisioned for the boys. So this is probably more so just to get them to think about like how to actually use the language.
We're not missing any notes from the floor anywhere, are we?
Not that I've observed.
They love to leave journal pages and notes in places where they could easily blow off with a sudden wind.
Mm-hmm. We are confined into basically a bottle puzzle, it looks like. I'm not... Unless we are missing something.
Misting.
Yeah.
You would think that Saavedro would want to help us.
Well, I mean, to his benefit, he knows that if he just locks an adventure gamer in a room, that they're going to solve the puzzle.
That's true. He's seen us cart our asses through these past few ages, and he's thinking, well, eventually they'll figure it out.
I'm sure Saavedro figured out those worlds much more quickly than us, but, like, you know, he's tired.
Oh, dear. Well...
Do you think that, like, if we actually got any of these correct, that it would light up the center or do anything at all?
I want to hope so.
It's a hole. It's a hole, so maybe not. Maybe it's just, like, it's going to be completely indifferent. That's usually the most daunting thing about Myst games, is that sometimes you do a thing correctly and nothing happens.
I know. And there's not really any indication of, like, which of these circles would necessarily, like, correspond to something else.
Like, each of them, like, the position of the wires leading in was the only thing that suggested to me that there's, like, anything we can read into. But if that's the case, then the poems themselves don't really lend themselves. Like, there's one that's, like, so horizontal that we could only make that fit if we, like, slant the puzzle to go from one side to the other. And that's kind of that'll be a pain in the ass if we have to consider all possible rotations in addition.
Right. I mean, they're only going to potentially connect. Like, if each of these is made of two symbols, they're only going to connect to one of the circles touching it. So, like, you're never going to go from this circle to this one because you can't skip the center.
Mm-hmm. It's also daunting because we've already demonstrated that we can have a line going from one side to the other, and it doesn't affect the other orb puzzle thing.
Yeah, I mean, unless I did something wrong. Which I don't think I did. I'm just desperate for some context. Have we seen any of these symbols or anything like them in any of these journals?
Still just thinking about Saavedro's Flintstone hammer, and, like, was that there to menace us? Is it like that he's going to, like, smash the book with it or something?
I think that's what it is. He was going to smash the book. Useless. I don't recall Atris having anything to say either.
Atris, why can't you just illustrate the solution for us?
Seriously.
Like, this feels a lot like can you like open it from different sides? Am I understanding that correctly, or is it...
No, when I move it recedes.
Okay. There's just too many permutations of how we could input things right now. It feels a lot like the Riven alphabet puzzle, where you need the whole, like, synthesis of everything you've learned up to this point. But this game's been a lot more episodic than the preceding games, or at least like Riven. Riven was very much like everything feeds into the big picture puzzle. Myst was more segregated to my memory. Let's try this. Just have like some lines running through all 4 circles and all quadrants, and see if that changes anything on the other orb. Like, try to have at least some lines in all 4 circles and all 3 quadrants, and see if that changes the other orb. Because I'm like just wondering, like, is it that we have to have something in each?
Just like this, except on everything?
Yeah, something like that.
Yes, folks, we are brute forcing this puzzle.
We are experimenting. We're gathering data to
We're going to try
field.
every single combination. Buckle up. When you saw that this video was 8 hours long, you had no idea what we were up to. Well, here it is. All right. That looks good. That's probably it.
Excited to see that this also does nothing. How dare you, Cyan? Give us something. Like, there's not really much indicating here. Just like you got the input and output wires like on the top and bottom. They're not really the same color as the in and out wires on the other one.
Can't do anything with this orb from behind.
They're not going to let you just, crack it open from the side and, hijack the wiring. I would at least hope that, we still have access to all of the necessary information here. So, if we try to take, the other orb as being corresponding very literally to the one we've got here, like I want to think that these all 3 kind of combine into one image for the other one. That's not really been supported so far. The quadrant up top, or I guess the triad would be the more appropriate word, that's closest to the one up top, but the positions of the in and out wires are still different. So it's more like 11 and 5 o'clock as opposed to 12 and 6.
Mm-hmm. And there's no overlap in our 6 symbols that made up the poems.
We can still try, like, say, putting the image of all 3 in like each quadrant, and doing it in a way that's going to connect the red to the gray wire. That's going to be a huge pain in the ass. But also, like, I can just keep like suggesting bad ideas, because that's all we got.
I mean, that's all we ever do around here. Suggest bad ideas until we find the right one.
Process of elimination. If we try all possible ideas...
Oh, God. I thought you were going to say if we try all possible symbols.
I don't want to go that far yet. Like, part of me still is like, I think that they gave us this whole like lexicon so that we eventually have to convey something. But that would make more sense if we knew what exactly we were trying to communicate, or that we've at least seen it demonstrated at least once, that we can input something and it'll translate into action in the world. Like, they've locked us in this room. There's not really anything to interact with apart from that puzzle and our existing notes in our inventory. And, what worries me is that the one, like, sheet that we're missing, like, we have our poem out, like, words accounted for from what we have here. So it's like, what did Saavedro not want us to see, or not want Atris to see?
Or what did Cirrus and Akinar not want him to see?
That could be a factor too. The boys were assholes.
And I feel like that's why he couldn't figure this out. So what else could we do with this information?
I mean, unless we're wrong, like we've misspelled our poems. But I feel like that the symbols we picked out make sense.
The thing that's really throwing me off, though, is even if we knew which symbols we were supposed to be using, I mean, we've got 12 different spots to write a word.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what's the significance of each individual space? Because, like, I'd love to start trying out your theory about, like, you know, changing nature or, you know, contradict nature or void nature.
But there's too many permutations of how we could try to input that. Like,
right.
we can't test it succinctly and rule it out, because we could place those words in, like, 12 different ways on the grids.
And they're not giving us any context.
Also, we're not, like, totally sure if there's, like, some kind of confirm button we're missing.
Now, I will repeat the same refrain that I always throw at you, which is, I think I've clicked on everything. But there are not a lot of options here. Let's go real slow around this screen. If I get toward the edges, then it just asks me to zoom out.
When we open it, are we able to click on the circle and the little hole in the center?
We are not.
Doesn't look like it.
I've tried clicking and dragging on various things as well. I thought maybe we'd have to rotate these, being circles. But there's nothing else to click on here.
Yeah, it does seem like that we are only really supposed to input the wires. Do you think, like, we're just, like, you know, clicking on, like, actually just, like, tapping them with our fingers to get them to light up? Is that how this works?
I think so.
Is it heat sensitive, or are these actually, like, tactile buttons?
That's a great question. They make a satisfying click, so I think they're tactile. Alright, I've got to start trying to make some progress here.
We could just hang out. This can just, like, be our new, like, home, these two rooms, until we starve to death.
How does force nature connect to itself?
Kind of the issue that we were running into before was that, like, encourage nature like, would basically lead to, like, two adjacent circles. That's not going to get you from the one side of the grid to the other. So it's either, like, we need to have, like, two additional symbols, or at least one more. Like, and maybe this would be easier if, like, any of the words used in our poems, like, were the same, so that we can kind of, like, string them together.
So force nature would connect across the center.
We'd have to, like, kind of rotate the symbol to get it to touch the wires on either side.
Mm-hmm. But it definitely does span the center. So let's see here. If I were to build it... I mean, that would... Oh my god, I'm turning my head sideways trying to see this.
I think that the nub at the end, like, on the top part, that like little root goes elsewhere. Like yeah, it like there. I think that's more correct. Yeah, that little nub in the center doesn't really like fit very neatly. And then the game will continue to refuse to tell us if we're even remotely warm.
Dear viewer, I am so sorry. This episode is going to be what it is. I am going to try to edit this down to be succinct and make some sense, but I cannot make any promises. I'm clicking on the sky at a Myst game. I'm getting desperate.
Reminds me of the Monkey Island flavor text. Yeah, sure. Walk to the sun. Place your bets, folks. How long until we break down and turn this into a Souls playthrough channel?
Souls channel. I'm just going to kind of try your theory of overlapping a couple of these things.
Mm-hmm. I mean, what do we got to lose?
Well, I think they're all overlapped here, and that did nothing. I'm really thrown by the complete and utter lack of any feedback from this puzzle, no matter what we do. It's getting my goat, man.
It makes you want to take revenge on Atris, doesn't it?
It really does. Maybe he is the villain.
I feel like I could, turn evil and, like, destroy an age after this.
Seriously. I'm kind of starting to sympathize with his sons.
Rick, I'm going to need you to be more optimistic. Is Ott a mist, Rick?
Hate you. This is your last episode on Saving Off, and I hope everybody's enjoyed you.
It was worth it. Are you longing from the days for when the reason we were stuck was just missing a porthole?
Yes. I take everything back. I guess I just don't understand. I don't understand at all what we're trying to accomplish here. I mean, like, not even a little bit. There's a door, and the door is closed. I think this would unlock the door, but I have no reason to believe that.
Beyond, like, just desperation.
Beyond the fact that it's a door that's closed right behind the mechanism that I'm trying to open.
It just makes you long for the practical solutions of other adventure games where you just find a hacksaw or something and you click the hacksaw on the vines.
Yeah. And then that doesn't work, so you have to go to, like, the gnome to sharpen your hacksaw, but the only way to get him to sharpen the hacksaw is by bringing him, like, a rubber chicken or something. And even then, it turns out he can't even sharpen your hacksaw. All he can do is, like, give you...
When you get the chainsaw, it's out of gas, so, like, what was the point?
He gives you his chainsaw, but it's out of gas, so...
So, I'm trying to think, can you skim Atris's journal and see if he used any of those keywords? Like, we know, like, some of the keywords that he's, like, from the poems, and he described some words when he was, like, brainstorming what to do with the New World.
You are right. Energy powers future motion.
So that's probably the full password for at least one of the triads.
Oh my god, you're right. Dynamic forces spur change. Balanced systems stimulate civilizations.
I don't know if that's actually a password or not, but we should still note it.
It's 4 words that are bolded. And that's the end. I think you're onto something. Let's see. Balanced systems stimulate civilizations.
I hope none of those words are ones that are on the torn off tapestry.
Dynamic forces spur change. Oh wait, what was that? Nature encourages mutual dependence. Energy powers future motion. So, by tapping into its latent energy sources, an age moves out of stasis. It grows, transforms, and develops. Energy is the underlying fuel that powers all activity. To put it more simply, energy powers future motion.
So maybe if we input these the three triads, and then we can put that final password into the 4th node.
Good idea. Alright, energy powers future motion. So, let's see, here's energy. Here's power. There's future. And there's motion. Alright, let's see here. How do we think they're going to be oriented?
Well, like with all of the existing ones, like the nodes that the phrases that we started with were just occupied 2 of the quadrants. So the remaining words just need to fill the remaining quadrants. I don't know what's going to make most sense for how they fill them out. Maybe it's just going to be that they are filled, period. Otherwise, we have to worry about, like, in what order, like, these are considered word. Like, what's the syntax of how we input these?
Okay, you're right. Because we had future motion. And that was the tear in the butt. Okay. So
And
future motion.
I think that the developers would bias towards, like, this. If we had to worry about, like, the order, this would bias towards reading clockwise.
Well, this will tell us because that is future motion, so energy powers would probably go down here, right?
I would assume so.
My God. My screens right now are just a mess of windows. Okay. Alright, so what did we say that was again? That was future. Future motion.
Do you need to, for this one, like, complete the semicircle in the right-hand quadrant? Like, on the my recollection for the poem is that it's like that. It's gonna be more like that. It's still not going to do anything. It's still going to be like, well, you think you did something? You think you did something?
God damn it.
What do you think it did?
It's the calling card of our master puzzle mind friend, Elvis. who anytime he has us working on a puzzle that has us stumped, likes to say, "What do you think you're trying to do right now?" Also, I was slightly off here. There needs to be that. Actually, I was completely off. It needs to be like that. Does that do anything? Doesn't look like it.
Well, we may have to try and fill out all the triads in order to hope, like pray, cross our fingers that the game gives us anything, gives us the faintest sliver.
Oh my god. Okay. Alright, what's our next one? Next one is, do you think, before I do that, do you think that we should put these in
Anywhere
order?
else?
Yeah, like in order of where they occur in the book, like maybe energy powers future motion up here, nature encourages dynamic, or encourages mutual dependence down here, then dynamic forces spur change down here.
If we're operating under the assumption that this is going to flow clockwise, then I would argue that, you know, the first mention in the book goes to the top, and then next mention goes bottom right, and then bottom left.
Yeah, because if we move this phrase to either of these, then the wires do touch the words. So you think that, because like if I put this up here, then it's going to be touching right here on the symbol, and it's going to be touching down here. Same thing here. These will be the same in these two spots.
That's sensible. So, you know, go ahead and redraw that, Rick.
I'm going to, David. Do I have
Certainly
this
that looks
correct?
more satisfying.
Yeah. I wonder if that'll make anything happen over here.
Oh, you wish.
Grasping, man. I'm grasping. Bum, bum,
I'm pretty sure that all that's going to happen when we have the correct is that we're just going to be able to input the fourth phrase.
Yeah,
it's not going to light up or
probably.
anything. It's just going to give us more puzzle.
Boy, you're a killjoy.
Listen, I'm just a real Myst.
A real Myst fan.
I was stretching there, you know, realist, real Myst.
Oh, I see. I see. That was a stretch, but I'll allow it. I just want you to know, though, that you've had better puns. That was not your masterpiece edition. No, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. We are at our lowest point right now.
Is this our lowest point?
No, Star Trek 25th was probably our lowest point. But
Probably.
you know, the channel is young. We will have lower lows. I promise you.
Anyway, nature encourages mutual dependence. So if I stack these up together, nature and dependence will be, so nature is going to be at the top and dependence is going to be at the right. So this one's going to read counterclockwise. This one's going to read nature on top, encourage on the left, mutual on the bottom, and dependence on the right. So how's this one going to play out here? Looks like nature will have to go here, and mutual will go there, because up here, this will not... Yeah, so that's the symbol for nature, so that's not going to touch. So we have to do it down here.
Better to catch it now.
Yeah. So now it's going to touch. So nature encourages
What bothers me is that that's kind of different than how the poem presented it.
I know you're right. You're right, it was the other way, wasn't it? So nature... Okay, so I just had to flip these two. You're right. So it does go clockwise. Yeah.
Vindication.
This is fine. My original point still stands about the top, though.
Yes, I agree with that. It's much more satisfying if the lit up wires create a circuit all the way to the bottom.
Right. Oh.
Ah! Something happened!
Something happened indeed. So we got this one wrong.
Something's amiss. Thank you, Rick.
Okay, well, that's okay. We can just put that one down here. Okay, what have I missed? Well, I thought that was it. Did I input something incorrectly? Let me...
I think you've got at least like the starting pieces correct. I'm not sure about the new words that we're inserting. You're the one that has like 8 images cluttering their monitor.
Energy powers future motion. Okay, I have... Okay. Okay, yeah, you're right. It is all going to be clockwise. So once again, I have 2 of them backwards. Okay, I see. There's different ways to interpret the positions here. So
okay.
I have it as energy powers future motion, and what it should be is energy powers future motion. Okay, so I've got the puzzle in the wrong order. It does have to start clockwise, starting from the top. Well, that's a little more satisfying. And somebody was so proud of themselves when they made this puzzle.
Well, they didn't account for us being stupid.
It only took us an hour and 20 minutes of playtime, but we've solved the first puzzle on Narayan.
Who knows? Maybe this is the ultimate puzzle. Or maybe there's 8 more like this.
Okay, so the last one is going to be dynamic forces spur change.
How do you think that, like, Sirius and Akanar were supposed to solve this puzzle?
They didn't. That's why they destroyed Narayan. Got fed up with this shit. Dad's always making us solve puzzles. Jesus. Okay, we've got this here, David.
You're a genius, Rick.
I say we, but you're the one that figured it out, as per the usual.
Listen, I need my meat puppet to solve the puzzles.
Didn't work. Didn't work.
Something's wrong. Help.
Oh, one more. There we go.
Good. I almost turned evil. Can we input the last one now, or do we just want to go explore? It's got power.
Well, for some reason, I'm thinking that we're not going to be able to do the last one.
I'm thinking that maybe this might be a branching point for an alternate ending.
Balanced systems stimulate civilizations. Their civilization.
It may be that one of these words is missing.
Yeah, a few of them are missing. So
we're gonna need that tapestry. So we do need to proceed. Can you believe it, Rick? We get to do things.
We did it. Now where are we?
Well, we're out here with the dirigible. Ah, a linking book. We got it. I feel like we're not ready to go back.
Sure we are. Let's get out of here. We finished Myst III.
Atreus is gonna be like, you brought a linking book with you, right?
By the Maker, you've returned. Atreus, come quick! The fire burnt the linking book you used. We had no way of following and thought.
We've returned. Where's Relisha? Did you
What a dark ending. All right,
well,
well,
smacked upside the head with a hammer.
with a Flintstones hammer, no less. You failed to save Relishan. Wait, that wasn't the ending? Oh man. Oh man. All right.
I was expecting something a little bit more dramatic, like he burns the linking book, destroying the world that we are in. But no, he just goes full caveman on us.
More symbols. Okay, what do we have here? We've got resurrect, weave, momentum, balance. So we're gonna need balance.
Balance is one of our
state, exist, rebirth, control, resilience, flow, elevate, survival, sacrifice, time, believe, tradition, system, remember.
System is good.
Constraint, inhibit, nurture, honor, sustain, and ethereal. Creativity, stimulate, form, question, discover, and explore. Well, we have what we need to make the last phrase. But before we futz around with that, I want to step into this basket and see if it does anything. Okay, it doesn't. It does nothing. All right, cool.
Cyan would not give you that satisfaction.
I wonder what the purpose of this next branch of the puzzle is. I mean, we've already figured out what they wanted us to figure out. Like, I don't know.
Like, I think it's just supposed to be like, this is supposed to parallel Atreus creating the new world, is that we are assembling the necessary words, but we're still just basically like inputting a password. We just don't have like two existing images to start from.
This just seems superfluous, that's all. Like, we've already done this and figured this out, so is there another angle to this? Or did they just want an excuse to make a bad ending?
Well, like, Atreus has already kind of established that overthinking this puzzle is not necessarily a good thing.
All right. Let's presumably power up this ship and get the hell out of here.
Beautiful. Now what? Wow, the force field is gone. Now Saavedro can do whatever he wants.
Oh my god.
They're alive? How did you... The Force symbol.
Hey! Hey, we wanted it there! Stop it!
We just watch him solve the puzzle.
It gives me hope to destroy me. You see, I still have something that he wants. Something that he sent you to bring back for him. Release him. Drop the outer barrier when I'm out by the gondola. Switch the shield so the outer barrier is open. And in return, I'll give up release. Do it.
The question is, can we be an asshole?
That's what I'd like to know.
Oh, that's why they have the little, like, vine fencing, so they can stick the book.
Go back inside and drop the outer barrier.
What are you doing?
Do it. I swear I will drop this into oblivion. What are you waiting for? Drop the outer shield, or I swear I will let go of this book.
Well, we failed to save Rolishan again.
I like that we accomplished my goal from episode 1 and clicked on Saavedro.
No, is he just gonna... He's just gonna
He's shy.
pace.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we had to see all the animations. Let's help the poor guy out.
Apparently, it's my turn to live up to my end of the bargain.
Wow, petty!
What a dick!
I thought you were going to have your little redemption arc there, buddy, but I guess not.
Man... That's disappointing. I liked Saavedro very much.
Still locked. You'll never find out what's in there. Yeah, go back upstairs, turn it back on.
I was hoping I could make him crash into the wall or something.
That would be funny. Can I just peek over the edge? Maybe we need to bring our pterodactyl friend from the other planet. I mean, we can use the linking book to go back, but it still feels like that.
It feels like a bad ending. But, what the hell?
We're at least not going to get bludgeoned this time.
You think? Unless he had a pterodactyl catch the book for him.
Mm-hmm.
By the Maker, you've returned. Atris, come quick. The fire burned the linking book you used. We had no way of following and thought.
Returned. And where's Relishan? Did you bring back the book? All those people. Everything we worked so hard to restore.
Atris.
Without that book, they're lost to us forever.
We suck.
So what else can we do in this situation? We can turn off like the generator like up top instead, but I don't know that's going to help us. He can still chuck it into the void.
It's like me learning that I had to play Broken Sword 2.
We can move. We can maybe sneak up on him and smack him with his own hammer. You're not getting in there, Rick.
Oh, God. No. Please, don't do this to me. Not when my family could still be alive out there. You want the book? Here. I'll give you the book. Just... Please. Please. Don't do this. Please. I can't do this again. Please don't leave me trapped here like this. I can't! No! No! No!
Calm down, dude. I know you're an asshole in an alternate timeline, but I was very much in favor of just, like, giving you what you want. You just wait a gosh darn second.
Alright, see it. That was a fun adventure. Everything turned out okay.
By the Maker, you've returned. Atris, come quick! The fire burned the linking book you used. We had no way of following the horde.
You've returned. But where's Relishan? Did you bring back the book? Thank the Maker. It's fine. We're in your debt, my friend. If this book had been destroyed, everything we worked for, all the people of Relishan, would have been lost to us forever.
You must tell us everything.
And so, as I once again set my pen to the page, a heavy sorrow hangs over me. It's true that Relishan has been returned to us unharmed, that the age I wrote to provide a new beginning is secure, but I can't escape the facts of its return. Nothing I can do will change the past. The anguish of decisions that were made must be carried with me forever. But if I had been the one to face Saavedro, if I had seen the life my sons destroyed so callously, would I have left him stranded without hope? Would I have sacrificed his dreams to claim my own?
Look, dude, you got your book back, all right?
Just casting some shade on you.
All right. All right. All right. All right, fine.
And then he cudgels you with the hammer again.
He throws the hammer at us.
Here he comes! Okay, flip the switch downstairs before you do that. We just can't, soothe Saavedro's need for vengeance no matter what we do. Like, dude, I want to have pity on you. You're not making it easy. That's really going.
Just zipping along. Zipping along toward those end credits.
You don't have the key. Catherine has the key.
You don't have the right. Oh, you don't have the right.
By the Maker, you've returned. Atris, come quick! The fire burned the linking book you used. We had no way of following the horde.
You've returned. But where's Relishan? Did you bring back the book? Thank the Maker. It's fine. We're in your debt, my friend. All the people of Relishan have been lost to us forever.
You must tell us everything.
I was happy to report that my good friend and puzzle solver was not an arse.
At last I can rejoice, for Relishan has been returned to me unharmed. The age I hoped would provide a new beginning still lives on. I'm sure that no danger shall befall it. And as I sit here writing in this journal, I rejoice to know that Narayan too is safe. The secrets of its past have been unlocked, and old wrongs have finally been righted. I know now that we can't escape the past, nor can we rewrite it, hoping to lessen our pain. The best we can hope for is to continue to learn, to take from the past only that which is good, and move on. Perhaps in the process, we will build a brighter future.
Presto, we did it.
Yay!
I feel a lot more satisfied with that big final puzzle, knowing that the answer was literally in our inventory the entire time.
It does make me feel better. Also, this music is extremely dramatic for the climax that involved pushing a lot of buttons.
A lot of buttons. My God. So with it behind us, David, what are your impressions of Myst III compared to Myst 1 and Riven?
It probably is not quite as timeless in terms of its design. I did really quite enjoy it. I think that the ball rolling planet was probably my favorite. You may or may not disagree.
It was pretty satisfying.
We had a lot of puzzles that really snagged us because we overlooked something, an element, and I feel like that the conveyance wasn't ideal. But that's also something that I kind of take for granted in a Myst game, is that there's going to be stuff that you're going to overlook.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of that would be mitigated by just by like having your cursor light up when you're over a hotspot. It gets very difficult to click on everything, and you know, especially because you click sometimes and it makes you move, and so you can't necessarily click on every element that you see because you know, it's going to make you move somewhere. So or you know, it's just not going to do anything. So I think that a big part of it would just be, God, it would just be solved if there was some kind of cursor highlighting. I don't even want hotspot highlighting. You know, that's a step too far for me, but just something to tell me that, hey, this is a thing that I can click on, that I can work with. Yeah, I think that would have helped tremendously. At the very least, I think it would have made it easier for me to not miss some of the hotspots that I notoriously overlooked.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. If you were going to have a hypothetical real Myst III Exile edition, a better cursor conveyance would be probably the central thing that I would ask for. But overall, you know, the central character arc of Saavedro is interesting. It added a lot of conflict based on you know, the boys just being asses. I still do wish that Saavedro could have been a little bit more sympathetic, because he goes from, you know, begging for mercy to bludgeoning you in the span of 30 seconds.
He does, and I think that that's my biggest complaint about him, because I really felt for him as an antagonist. I mean, we know that Atris's sons were dickheads. Like, that's no question. There's no like core conflict there of, you know, is he telling the truth? Is he misinterpreting? Or, you know, is he exaggerating? Like, no, Sirius and Akinar, they're tools. They're D-bags. We hate them. They're awful people. They screwed us 2 sequels ago. You know, we already know that they're bad guys. So having his central, like, his tension be about, you know, his lust for vengeance for Atris because of what his sons did. It makes him very relatable and sympathetic. It makes him somebody that you root for. And I feel like they needed to find a way to add some stakes and tension to the end. And I guess you could say that he was alone for so long and so, like, rabid for revenge that he wasn't acting in his right mind. I don't know. I would have liked to see something a little smoother for him at the end there, you know, rather than just killing you with a hammer.
The hammer itself is just such a kooky, very blunt way for him to resolve everything.
I mean, don't get me wrong, it's funny as hell.
See, this is what the world would be like if you could use an inventory. This could be you, Myst player, but no. You just have your books and your pages and your fingers to press buttons.
Anyhow, thank you very much for joining us. It's been an absolute pleasure. I really enjoyed Myst III. Despite the couple of little, pitfalls that we fell into, I thought that it was a fantastic game. Really enjoyed playing it, and we hope that you enjoyed watching it. Not sure what's going to be next on the docket, but hey, you'll find out next week. Until then, I am Rick, and this is David.
See ya. Hope you have a good time, and there will be future revelations in store someday.
Thank you, everybody. We'll miss you.
Bye.